Hi everyone, my name is Jaclyn Turley. I am a clinical team lead.
I'm Sestokas, an assistant clinical director.
And we are from New York Start Region 1. And for our poster this year, what we did was we looked at using biopsychosocial timelines to help showcase the START process. So as a team, we saw that we had a number of cases that had been open with START for greater than 3 years, and we wanted to start looking at what were some of the reasons why these cases were remaining open. And through that, what we found was not only for these cases, but also for people in general referred to START, there's a number of biopsychosocial implications and events that occur over the course of their lifetime, and these events really do impact the trajectory of the case. So what we found is that the use of START timelines creates a visual snapshot of the START supports being used, and it really allows the team to learn from the tools and to help guide the next steps of the case. And this concise representation of that progress really promotes the team to have a further enhance their capacity and their ability to move forward towards more of a primary intervention. So when looking at the data, as we said, we found that we had 66 cases with us that have been open for greater than 3 years. When looking at what factors might be contributing to this, we wanted to look at, was it possibly due to changes in coordinators, or if we were not using enough primary tools in the case. When we did start to look at the data, unfortunately, we weren't able to conclusively say exactly what was contributing to that, but we did see that we have a higher average number of coordinators that are working on a case that are remaining open longer. And we thought this, again, could be due to coordination turnover, but it also could be because these cases are more complex, and therefore we have more coordinators working on the cases through either crisis calls or through the use of some of our therapeutic supports.
So our next steps were that we identified 3 cases at different stages with New York Start. We created START timelines and biopsychosocial overviews for each case. We focused on the tools utilized, when they were utilized, and how the information learned from each tool could help the team better conceptualize the case and identify next steps. So one of the cases we chose to show for our timeline was someone who had been active with us for greater than 4 years. What we saw at the time of referral was fairly typical, and the presentation through the first year to 2 years is fairly typical, and that initially a fairly intense case, both in terms of the ABC scores, in terms of intensity for the action plan. We see that a number of tools are utilized. So we see that we use the emergency assessments, that we use revising cross systems plan. And towards the second year, we also start to see that we use planned in-home and the utilization of the resource center. And through the use of a number of different tools, the team starts to find greater stability. We see the intensity go down to a 2. We see ABC scores start to drop, and we start to see the team find greater stability. What we couldn't have accounted for was biopsychosocial events or more social stressors that ended up contributing to the case, really seeing an increase again. So the brother completed suicide, his stepmom's cancer returned, and his father got diagnosed with cancer and then started chemo. So we started to see those intensity scores increase, and then we saw some changes to medication. So ultimately really influencing the case. What we wanted to do was also show how the biopsychosocial overview tied into the timeline and ultimately help the team achieve some of their goals. Through the use of the resource center, we were able to identify a number of different tools and things that the team could utilize, and ultimately this tool played a large role in the team's access to traditional supports, which they just achieved. As a whole, the implications for the START timeline when it's paired with the biopsychosocial overview is that it really does allow us to visualize when each tool is utilized, what information each tool provided us, and then how these tools might contribute to the START coordinator's case conceptualization. It really allows us to see different stressors and how those influence the case and how they lead to increased or decreased stability and case intensity. It also provides us with a potential different way for START team leads or for START clinical directors to provide enhanced clinical supervision. And it also shifts a team's perspective from we still have a long way to go to look how far we've come. Based on all these implications, we recognize the value of timelines and would recommend consideration of this tool for complex cases that have been active for over